system an extended identifier from the domain name system? It is my pleasure to introduce our moderator for this segment, Gede Putu Rahman Desyanta, CEO Baliola. Please join me in welcoming Gede Putu Rahman Desyanta to the stage.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the next session in the APAC DNS this evening. So let me introduce myself first. My name is Anta. I am the CEO of Baliola and co-founders of Mandala Chain. So here we'll be explaining and discussing about blockchain name systems. This is like the one new extended mechanisms of how DNS and also how the new technology such as blockchain can be supporting DNS. So taking from the note from Mr. Champika about DNS security is really important, right? So we will exploring a lot here about how blockchain can be supporting for decentralized name systems. And you know, as a decentralized application and cryptocurrency, this is getting a lot of traction. We're seeing that blockchain technology is not only to using and creating a hype for cryptocurrency, but they can be using also for the creation and deployment as the new structures supporting domain name systems. So in our session today, we will dive into the significant development and a key characteristic of blockchain naming system in this era. We will also discuss about the enhanced security, privacy, transparency, while also addressing regulatory consideration and the role of community governance. So additionally, we will explore the opportunities for tokenization and also monetizations with the services and explore potential for blockchain mechanisms on name systems. And we also clear understanding about how is the future opportunity about DNS and how the DNS on the decentralized era will be giving a lot of potential implementation in the next years. So without further ado, so we are inviting, we have 3 speakers. I hope that all the speakers are already prepared. The first one is we have Mr. Ery Punta. Please come to the stage. So Mr. Ery Punta is the head of blockchain working group in Pandi and the head of Indonesian Blockchain Society. Welcome, sir. And the second one, joining virtually, Mr. Harrison Seletsky. Hi, Mr. Seletsky, how are you? Okay, so he is the Business Development Director of Space ID. And the next one is Mr. Paul Govro. Hello, Mr. Paul is already, hello, how are you, Mr. Paul? So he is the founder and CEO of 3DNS. So please give a round of applause for 3 best panelists for discussing this. Yeah, so before we are starting, we are having a coffee also. You can bring the coffee break. So if you have a friend outside of this room and still on coffee break, please come here inside because you can bring your coffee and also your snack inside. So, okay, let's starting. The first one, this is like, you know, when everything we're talking about decentralized era and internet domain is really important for the infrastructures of decentralization, infrastructures for domain. It's getting more close to decentralization. So this will be talking about how we can explore about implementing blockchain name systems. So first, I will giving a question first to Mr. Ery Punta. I think this is like the opening of this session. I want to know about the ID chain. So the white paper, so Pandi creating ID chain, right? And then you have already published the white paper, and the POC of EID wallet is already online for testing phase. So can you share more details about the ID chain initiative and how it's aimed to creating a decentralized identifier infrastructures?
Yeah. First of all, thank you for the time and occasion to share about what we have done actually in Pandi. So Pandi just released a white paper about the digital identity that we call it as the ID chain. So anyone can access in the idchain.id. But can we just show the
okay, please, Mr. Ery Punta has a slide. Could you mind
slide.
to open the slide of
Yeah.
Ery Punta?
Just a few slides.
There's no slide?
Okay.
Is there a slide already? We already sent it. Please? Oh, there is no slide.
Okay. So we got no slide, yeah? So okay, so ID chain is a blockchain platform that actually use as the common registry that actually they can connect and they can be used as as simple as creating and also maintaining the address between the domain name and also the Web3 address. So actually, why we are doing this? So we found the problem in maybe not just in Indonesia, but also in other places. Yeah. That first, that a lot of problem with the what we call it as the data and also the identity. And the other thing is also why we are also doing this, because nowadays we seeing that a lot of Web3 initiative coming, and they are promoting and using the what's called it is the domain name to be the profile or web profile or identity. So this is actually one is an opportunity, and the other is actually could be becoming a disruption. So based on that, we are trying to find what is the use case of that, and we also found that actually that the government, the business, and also the public need that solution. That actually how to have a simple or maybe just make the convenience people convenience. Yeah. So I'll say some use case. So maybe if anyone check into the hotel right now, the hotel will ask you to show some identity. So basically you give the identity. So you are revealing your private identity and giving to them. So it's, I don't know, but in this country, we have a lot of problem with the ID misuse, because we are giving the KTP, and they got all of our identity, and then I guess later maybe in the end of this year there will be a new law about the data protection privacy, that anyone that holding the private data will be responsible and could get penalized on that. So that's the simple case is actually how could we give a simple way that we are very verified as one, say, my that showing that I'm say maybe
the verification
yeah
itself,
verification
right?
that say okay I'm Ery and verified, just using the simple domain name, say ery.e.id, that's it. And then the hotel will just use that domain name and then okay that I'm a verified person that actually is actual and verified. So that's a basic idea, but that's one of the use case. So a lot of things that actually we still doing on that. Okay.
Okay, so basically what the ID chain is making is like they're creating the decentralized identity infrastructures, and then you just like, because of the address of blockchain is really long, and it's hard to remember as a human, because blockchain is basically, it's between machine to machine. So you simplified it to the domain itself, right? This is how it works, and when we want to use it, we don't need to explore it, like expose our identity, and then we're just using the domain itself, and yeah, you got verified, and you got access, right?
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
Okay. Okay, so then let's go to Mr. Harrison Seletsky. So tell him, Mr. Seletsky, you were still there, right? There is no. Yeah. Okay, Mr. Seletsky. So you are the business development director. It's about Space ID. I'm searching the website. It's really interesting for me. That's how you manage the TLDs with the blockchain itself. So can you elaborate on how Space ID enables the management of TLDs for Web3 domains? And I want to know about maybe what is the unique advantage does Space ID offer in the creation of digital identities using TLDs?
Yeah, for sure. So from the crypto side and the Web3 side, there's kind of a difference between TLDs and I'm sorry, is there a echo?
Yep. It's okay. It's okay. We are clear hearing you, Mr. Seletsky.
Okay, got it. Yeah, so there's a difference there. But essentially, what we're doing is we are creating the Web3 equivalent TLDs, what we consider DIDs, decentralized identities, which will then be able to turn to TIDs in the future. So how we currently work with this is only on the Web3 side. We don't offer any interoperability with TLDs yet, as in DNS TLDs, but that's something in the future. When they become interoperable or more interoperable in the Web3 space. There are some ecosystem players that do currently offer this TLD aspect, such as DNS, such as example domains, through tokenization, or through other ways. And essentially, it allows you to link these two, complementary protocols together. As far as managing the decentralized identity from the user side, all you need is your cryptocurrency wallet to own one of these decentralized identities. The decentralized identity is represented in the form of an NFT, a non-fungible token, so a unique token. And it's managed directly through the wallet. So the user has full access, ownership, and rights over the usability of the specific TLD. So for example, APAC DNS.eth, if I was the owner of that, I could then use that as my on-chain identity, both on blockchain applications, as well as Web3 and Web2 applications like Twitter, like Telegram, like Discord, and kind of bridge those two gaps, making it easier for users to understand who I am, what I'm doing, and where I'm interacting. You can also pin it to a site managed by IPFS, and that would be controlled in a decentralized way compared to a more centralized way like DNS, which will be coming in the future. So from the development and creation side, it's all managed via smart contracts, which is essentially open source crypto infrastructure that allows users and developers to create applications on the blockchain. So many of these aspects are managed through a traditional dashboard, similar to how a DNS would be managed. But there are some differences because with smart contracts and blockchains, there is more decentralization. So once a chosen decentralized identity is registered by a wallet, that wallet has full control over the domain, regardless of what the provider wants to do. So that does differ a little bit from DNS management, but there will be ways to kind of, have a hybrid infrastructure moving forward. As far as the unique advantages that we offer at Space ID when building out digital identities or TLDs, first, it's a very developmentally intensive process. So we can help streamline this both on the back end and the front end, as we have experience launching and aggregating 20 different domain name services across a variety of different blockchains. We also have an established network of hundreds of integration partners. These include decentralized applications, exchanges, wallets that already support our decentralized identities through our SDK. So any TLD that was included within the Space ID ecosystem moving forward would be easily integratable with without any additional heavy lifting on the development side. So we're already starting to see this with GoDaddy and ENS, as well as through Unstoppable Domains, which allows you to tokenize .com DNSs that you own in order to utilize those on-chain in Web3. Beyond that, it's important to have a smooth process. So we can easily incorporate and create front ends that include all aspects of TLDs in the Web3 ecosystem. So we are able to create the smart contracts as well as deploy them, front end, a UX and UI that's smooth for searching, registration, management, and trading. And then you also get a built-in community of hundreds of thousands of crypto native domain name holders and users. So working with Space ID, not only do we provide the infrastructure side, but we also have that built-in ecosystem of users, a built-in ecosystem of developers and applications we're already working with. So combining that, the management side with the actual development side, you get a really robust platform, as well as go-to-market strategy, how we launch DIDs, how we partner with other protocols. So you get a really broad combination of what's available within Web3 and Web2. Mostly Space ID has been focusing on the Web3 space so far, but with the new GTLD auction coming up in the future, we definitely plan to extend our capabilities as infrastructure providers for domain name services across all these different blockchains.
Wow, so this is basically how you manage creating a very safe place where the decentralized decentralized domain, and also on the Web 2 it can be accessing, which is, we understand that it's like for the Web 3 spaces is everything is about data structures and everything inside, but on the Web 2 is focused on interfacing, and user experience will be better within using this. And Space ID is creating these mechanisms. It's like what are you, a conclusion of what you said?
Yeah, so we hire the entire creation process from start to finish, back end, front end, all aspects needed. Currently, this is only managed on chain, but like I said, with the new GTLD auctions and applications coming up, we're going to be able to extend the capabilities of these domain names to the Web 2 space. So right now, domains in Web 3 are more decentralized identities versus DNSs. And this is going to add a lot more capabilities and usability and interoperability. So you'll be able to expand your identity well outside of the crypto space and offer a lot more utility to your followers, to your users, and just creation in general.
Okay, so let's thank you, Mr. Seletsky. Let's go to Mr. Paul. Hello, Mr. Paul. How are you? You are still here with us, right? Hello, Mr. Paul. Hey, hello. So, Mr. Paul, we can go to 3DNS. So can you explain a little bit the concept of tokenized domain names and how it differs from traditional domain registration, and what the benefits do tokenized domain names offer the business and individuals users?
Yeah, I'm happy to dive into it. So as a quick kind of background, 3DNS tokenizes traditional domain names. So our approach is a little different than most blockchain naming systems where they build out kind of new alt namespaces on chain. We kind of act as a registrar wholesaler or reseller, in which we let users come and buy normal domain names, and then we issue them as on-chain assets, right? So you can tokenize up to 430 or 40 different TLDs with us, .coms, .nets, .orgs, .ids. And basically what we do is we issue a on-chain asset that functions, similar to a NFT, which is a non-fungible token, right? That controls it. So then all of our names kind of serve to bridge the two worlds between ENS and DNS by, allowing you to set up ENS profiles, but then also store your DNS records. And then, we run all of our own kind of name servers, and our name servers then relay on-chain data into the DNS world. So that kind of makes everything accessible. We worked with the ENS team to make it so that all of our domains integrate natively inside any app that supports ENS. So the names are bridged across. And then we also extended the ENS protocol to integrate into DNS. So text records, by just hitting any of our domain names, you can query for different, profile attributes, right? So common things are like avatars, bios, and so on. I can actually do a quick kind of little demo if I can share my screen here. But this is our platform, right? So you can, search for any domain name. So let's go like, super cool .id. I guess we do not support IDs yet, but we support kind of other domains. And when you purchase them on chain, it uses, you can pay with different cryptocurrencies or just kind of credit cards. And then as you go in and manage your domains, you can pull them up inside of, ENS. So here you see that this is a domain name, right, that works in the browser, but it also resolves on chain with all this information. So if I also, visit the domain name, you'll see here that this is running a profile page for the .box TLD. So we launched .box, which is ICANN compliant TLD entirely on chain. We worked with Intercap Registry to do that, launched that earlier this year. And that's just kind of how the names integrate. So what's really cool is once you put a domain name on the blockchain, they work right as NFTs, which means that marketplaces that support NFTs can support them. So any of our domains, you can kind of go on. You could make offers, you can list them. You can see these are different domains that are listed on chain. One of the things that we're working on for this next round of GTLD auctions is the launch of kind of new namespaces. So with us, you can take your domain names and start selling third level domains, right? So we partnered with Box and with Optimism, which is a scaling network on top of Ethereum, to launch this superchain namespace. So, if we look for a name on here, these are being registered as, paulg.chain.box or paulg.super.box, in which we're going to go after the super and chain TLDs in that next round of GTLD auctions.
Okay, wow. So it's like, the tokenizers will be like giving is, because we know that about the domain itself, so identity is also an asset, and we can send, like exposing what we are having with this identity and also with the domain. It's really futuristic. And the one thing maybe if we are talking about blockchain and how it works, we cannot, because this is decentralization mechanisms, so there will be a community itself, that there will be a community governance and everything like that. So, we will go back up to Mr. Ery Punta. So we're talking about the governance and also the community. How do you see the role of community governance evolving with it in the ID chain ecosystems?
Yeah, well, when we're talking about the how we govern, especially in the ID chain, well, IDGen is a decentralized identifier platform. Yeah. So we want to have, say, the one that actually having and authorized to have the or issued the identity, they should be able to hold that and also govern that. So in IDGen, we don't want to take over the role, and also we don't want to be the identity issuer, but we want to be the provider, the wallet, yeah, that hold the identity that actually issued by say authorized identity issuer. Like say maybe in Indonesia we have like for the KTP is coming from the Ministry of Internal Affairs, yeah, Depdagri, that they are authorized to release the KTP. So why we are doing that? Because we want to have the data as minimal as possible to move into the network, because we are really thinking that actually we want to have the system is like the zero trust system. So when we want, and also we want to have this community to be secure, yeah, in these matters. Like, okay, you want to give the proof of ID. So who actually the one that having this ID verified. So the verifier is actually we can work with the QIC provider that doing that. So actually that's the one that actually certifying and verifying that you are authorized person. So I think it's a bit different with the approach, yeah, with the others, because we are thinking that this is the use case that we want to have this as the digital identifiers. So we work with the one that actually also issuing like a passport, a KTP, and then that's also maybe not just from the government, yeah, but maybe also from the business, the communities that they want to have the simple ID, like maybe you are a member of gym, that you need to have a membership, so you can have your proof of the ID. Of course, you can use the identity there in your wallet, which is the wallet that's stored in the NFT form in the blockchain, which is in the ID chain. So that's the way we are doing and do the building the community and also the ecosystem on this.
Okay, so with maybe we can emphasize a little bit about the ID chain itself. So this is not a public chain. So for the ID chain, is it a private or private chain?
Yeah, of course we can, because we just starting, yeah, in this stage. We make it as a private chain, but later on this could be we involve and we invite business, also the government, that they want to have a common, or it's not, I mean, we are not trying to make a single identity, but we are trying to make a platform that could be used by multiple users, multiple business, or multiple entities that doing this. So that's I think.
So it's basically the infrastructures that, like, it's
Yeah.
multi-purpose for focus on identity. So every single entity can using these infrastructures.
Yes. Later on, we invite also to join the node operator program. That's the next roadmap on this.
Okay, got it. So this is basically this is a private, but it is a node operator product, making it decentralized. Is it private but decentralized?
Yep.
Okay, so so Mr. Harrison Seletsky. Mr. Seletsky, I want to share you. I want to ask you about the same question. It's about governance and community. So how do you see the role of the community on your platform, and how your community like accepting the concept and how they empower your concept?
Yeah, that's a great question. So community is very vital to decentralized identity ecosystems, because if you don't have a robust community, then it doesn't make sense for other dApps or ecosystems to integrate your domain names. And then any of the registrants won't have that utility that the domain names as well as the usernames provide. So community is really everything. Without a community, if you have great infrastructure, a great product, but no one's using it, it doesn't provide a lot of value. So for us, it's all about getting these different ecosystem community members started as soon as possible. And this is important by essentially working with dApps where decentralized usernames are most viable. So that would be, right now, there's a lot of different use cases where it's available. For us, we try and focus on social on-chain interactions. That would be interactions between any two users that aren't directly financially related. So out of decentralized finance, where you're just trading or swapping tokens. Some of these use cases are very simple. That could be sending or receiving funds in a wallet. That could be chatting with users on chain in a chat management platform. That can be gaming. That can be interacting on Web3 social media. Essentially anywhere a username comes into play. So the more users that you have within your community or within your ecosystem, the easier it is to introduce that ecosystem to integration partners. And then it creates kind of a self-fulfilling cycle where the more integrations and the more utility, the more usability of the domain names, and the more ecosystem users that are registering those domain names so that they can gain the utility on the different ecosystems and platforms that they're using. So it's kind of like a chicken or the egg situation where you need a lot of these integrations in order to provide value to your community, but you also need a community in order to incentivize these developers to integrate your domain names.
Okay, thank you. So yeah, so I will go to Mr. Paul. So this is basically, if we are talking about tokenization of the domain itself, so it needs like there is a demand and also a supply itself. So based on this is the same question: how the community, how you're driving the community to creating a demand and like making this is like a trend for the internet users.
Yeah, our approach is a little different. We're kind of tailoring towards traditional domainers, right, as well as tapping into the ENS ecosystem. So one of the design decisions that went into how we built our system is that all of our domain names work both in the browser as Web2 names and as DNS resolving names, as well as on chain in the ENS ecosystem, right? So we're already natively supported by all the major wallets, MetaMask, Coinbase, and Etherscan, and then all those apps that plug into the open infrastructure for resolving ENS names, right? So if you kind of go to any app in the Ethereum ecosystem and a lot in the Solana ecosystem as well, those applications are, built off of open source libraries that support ENS and by, virtue support 3DNS names. So, as important as, kind of building a community is, it's also very important to, build on existing rails that let us tap into major communities, which has kind of been our approach here.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Paul. So it's basically, it is like when we are going to do on tokenize and everything, the approach that you're having is quite a lot different. So yeah, I get info from the committee. There is your presentation, Ery, is on. Do you want to like giving maybe a short information about the ID chain? Is it okay? Okay, can you play the presentation just a little bit?
Okay, thank you. So just I'm trying to make it as short as possible. Yeah. So this is the white paper that we just released, the ID chain. So basically, we can see it that the ID chain is in a very low level blockchains that just doing a simple registry thing on the how to map the Web 2, DNS, and also the Web 3. So and also we also introduced the UID in this ID chains, which is a universal identifier that we are derived from the DID W3C protocol standard. So it could be used by many communities and also many use cases and also many stakeholders that also doing the and using this one. Oh, okay. So how it works? So we just say the use case of the IAM as this say the users and person is the subject, and then the subject will get the UID, and then UID we could verify or certify. Say I am Indonesian, so I could get a certified that I'm having a passport that issued by Indonesia. Or if I'm say I'm a Singaporean or I'm Indian, so I can use a passport from Singapore or Indian to verify my credentials, my UID. So the who own the data actually, we are trying to promote that actually the self-sovereigns who actually own the data. We are the subjects of the ID that having the data. And then, but the one that authorized and certified that you are coming from one country, or you are a person, or you are a member of maybe school, or maybe some others use case. That's that we call it the UID controller. So we also work with the communities here that they could use the apps or use the platform for their app, and we provide we call it the 2.5 Web 2.5 gateway, because it's integrating between the Web 2 and the Web 3. So basically what ID chain doing is just having a SIG primitives, creation, authentication, revoking, binding, verification, and also the update. Basically it's just a common registry things in these matters. And then why Pandi? Because we have the .id and we could do the UID masking. So we know that the blockchains having a very complicated, very long ID. So we could mapping to this. Okay, next.
Okay, let's go up.
Just simple. Next. This one. So this is the use cases. So many use cases. It could be a government business or maybe the public that can use this one with using extended DNS. So you can, rather than you are refilling your private or identity or private data, you can use this one as simple mechanism. Next. Yeah, this is the proof of concept that we have. Actually, you can try the system on the boot outside. You can try to register. You can try to have verify your credential at the boot outside.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Ery. So maybe the time is really tight, but I want to giving another, like only one question for all of you, but this is a short answer. Please do in the short answer. I want to know about the one thing. If we are saying that every, all of you guys like creating creating decentralization and how to create digital identifiers. So what the key milestone do you believe will be the crucial in adoption of decentralized domain name systems? What the milestone? Maybe I will go to Mr. Paul first, but please be short. Mr. Paul, what is the milestone?
Yeah,
the key milestone you believe?
Our approach is, you know, plugging into existing rails, right? The best kind of way towards adoption is plugging into something that somebody doesn't have to integrate, right? And kind of really focusing on what you want to decentralize. We're more interested in decentralizing the role and administration and the control, right, of the domain name by tokenizing it. So our, you know, domains, it's all about making sure that they work in browsers and in the current kind of rails.
Okay, thank you. So it's like the working browsers that will be supporting the ecosystems also. So, Mr. Seletsky, so what do you think is the key milestone, do you believe? This is crucial for adoption of decentralized domain name system.
Yeah, I think the key milestone will be a mainstream consumer decentralized application that calls for usernames. The infrastructure for decentralized identities is pretty robust right now, and we do have a lot of users. Some are speculating, but a lot of them own these domain names, but they're not able to use them in the same way they would use a username in the Web2 space. So once we see a really established ecosystem come to market, whether that be a social ecosystem, a gaming ecosystem, or really any platform where two users need to interact that gets broadly adopted, I think that's when we'll really see, you know, an influx of users. Like we were saying, the OX wallet address, the random string of letters and numbers is too complicated long-term for users to interact with one another, especially in a big database. So once we have the real need for these decentralized usernames, the infrastructure is already in place, and it'll be really easy to kind of drive that utility and drive those users where the most value is presented.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Yeah, the ecosystem is the key when everything is like they are connecting each other and a lot of users. So, Pak Ery Punta, the same questions. What do you think is the key milestone?
I think the challenge between the Web3 and Web2 right now, because everybody is already familiar with the Web2, but Web3 is a new thing. A lot of people not familiar, and also somehow when we use the Web3 is very complicated. So that's how we could provide the easy but secure. That's actually is a bit contradicting, but that's the challenge that if we could have that kind of like a socialization and how to make the system very easy to be used by a common people, then maybe that's the key adoption to get the larger adoption.
Okay, so it's basically how to making a balance between security and also convenience. And this will be giving a lot of adoption for this space. So thank you very much for Pak Ery Punta, Mr. Seletsky, and Mr. Paul. It's really great to having you all. So basically what we are seeing here is like, this is the new thing about the blockchain system is a new thing. The blockchain name system, a decentralized domain name system is also the new thing. So it needs to open up. Like every of us need to be open to explore this space, because this will be the next futures and how to creating decentralized security and also creating the convenience, how to creating convenience. It needs a lot of use cases. So all of you know, Pak Ery, Mr. Seletsky and Mr. Paul creating a platform to making us more understandable and then creating a new digital trust, maybe I can say that, on a domain name in decentralized internet futures. Okay, maybe that's all from us. Thank you for all to joining this session, and and thank you for joining virtual, Mr. Seletsky and Mr. Paul, Pak Ery. So after this, I will giving back to the committee. So we will having a picture, I think. Okay, thank you very much. Give applause for all our panelists.
We would like to request moderator and speakers, please remain on stage to take a group photo. Thank you.